So MMMs, what they are, they're causal inference models. And what causal inference models do is they aim to estimate the cause and effect between different entities. So let's take a real life example here, and we're going to build a causal graph. Let's say you were late for work one day. How can we determine what was the factor that was really responsible for that? So if we were to build a causal model for this, we'd be working to really figure out the impact of each of these factors and how they contributed to you being late for work. And to help us model this with more certainty, we'd have to see you go into work late several times, and we'd basically turn these entities on and off. And that's how we could really get a sense of the effect they were having on your lateness to work. With that context, let's take it into the MMM sphere here. Here with our very simplified graph, we have our media channels, the impressions for them in orange, and our baseline in blue. And baseline is going to cover things like seasonality, holidays, economic conditions, what have you. And so we want to see how all of these feed into your revenue. So we're looking at all the causal relationship between each of these inputs and how they affect this one output. So what Meridian does is high level, we're looking at these impressions over time, and Meridian, what it's doing is it's asking, when more people saw ads on this channel, did sales go up too? And then just the opposite. So when fewer people saw ads on this channel, so how did that affect consumption, right? Did we see a dip in sales that day? And so what it's doing is it's working to detect which media channels are truly driving incremental lift. That is, sales that would not have happened had these ads not been seen. So after it's done that, then it brings in the cost of the ads. So after we figured out the contribution from the ad impressions, then what we're doing is we're comparing that lift to how much those ad impressions cost. So here's where we enter with the traditional ROI, return on investment, or ROAS, looking at how much incremental dollars we got in return for that ad spend. So broadly speaking, these are the two major steps in what it takes to determine where you should spend that incremental dollar. And this is how Meridian works, and this is how most MMMs work.